We live in a society where being sad and crying is seen as a weakness. And if you're like most people, probably you don't even remember when was the last time you cried, right? However, most people are also unaware of the health risks they're running because they're not crying. And in this video, I would like to help you to realize what happens to you when you suppress your emotions and also how you can start relieving yourself, start feeling better by crying. Hello, my name is Martin and I help people improve their social skills. So if you want to become better with people, then yeah, you can subscribe to my channel because I upload new videos about these topics every single week. However, before we start even talking about other people, we're gonna talk about the most important person, which is, of course, yourself. You're born with yourself, you're gonna die with yourself. So it's very important to become very good in that particular relationship with yourself. And one of the things that we do is we have emotions, right, as human beings. We're happy and sometimes we're sad. However, probably you're aware that in current day society, being happy is promoted as something that you should always strive for. And being sad and crying is seen as a weakness. It's something that is not cool, it's not good, it's a no, right? I mean, especially if you're a guy, you completely resonate with me because you grew up and you were told by society that you cannot express your emotions. It's not manly, it's not macho, it's not cool. You have to be, like a rock. No emotions, go through difficulties, life is tough. However, I'd like to share with you a couple of things. We all experience those emotions, we all experience loss, and you might think about situations where probably you broke up with your girlfriend. It's something that will hurt you. It doesn't matter if you admit it or not. Or you had a pet, like a dog or a cat, and you grew up with them and they died. Probably you felt sad. And you've seen kids. Kids don't suppress their emotions. Like most kids, healthy kids, they will cry. If something happens, if they lose a toy, they just cry. And then they just laugh, right? Because they haven't learned yet from society and from their parents that crying is something that's not good. And you see so many parents which, of course, they want to raise healthy kids, self-confident kids. So they tell their kids, don't be a crybaby, don't cry about this, don't cry about that. And the little kid learns to keep emotions to itself. Probably you've learned that behavior too, either from your parents or from society, from, copying other people because nobody cries, right? However, what that does to you is it's almost like a storage. Can you imagine like a storage where you put all this sadness and you suppress it? And what does this to you? It creates stress. It creates stress to your nervous system, and probably if you're somebody who's very irritable, you get angry very easily, the main cause for that is usually suppressed emotions, either sadness or anger, but it's so much inside of yourself, it's so much tension that any kind of little things, your housemate or your boyfriend or your boss, anybody on the street says to you, you're just ready to explode because your body cannot just cope with the tension. However, stress is not the only thing because, all right, you might get irritable here and there and get angry at people. However, if you hold stress for a prolonged period of time, and I don't mean for minutes and hours, I mean if you hold these suppressed emotions for years, then usually it will lead to low immune system powers. So basically you'll be susceptible to illnesses. And I remember that I didn't cry for maybe 10 years. Since my grandmother passed away when I was probably 13 or 14, I didn't cry at all. I had breakups, I went to study abroad, far away from my parents. Different things happen in my life. I don't shed a tear. Always happy, Martin is always happy. However, that's not true. What I was actually doing is I was suppressing all this sadness. I'm a very sensitive person. I have suppressed so much. I miss my parents. When I had breakups, I'll feel hurt, but I won't express that. I'll feel alone, and I'll again suppress these emotions of sadness and tears. And I used to have a lot of eczemas. you know, like the skin rashes which come because of no apparent reason. Nobody knows, the doctor doesn't know, there is no cure, there is something that they can give you in order to fix it, but they don't know why it happens. And it happens because the skin is from where the body is using the skin to elevate this stress. And actually, I'm not sure if you knew, but when you cry, it's not only water that comes from your eyes, but the tears which come from real crying, they also have stress hormones. Yeah, and they help you relieve stress. That's why you've seen maybe some of your girlfriends, and I don't want to be sexist or saying that girls cry more than guys, we're both human beings, but in general, I'll make a generalization that girls are more okay with expressing their emotions. I mean, my ex-girlfriend, you know, if something happens, she'll just start crying. And it will just go and pass, and, you know, she'll be happy again, just like a little kid. And yeah, 2 years ago, basically, I also wanted to cry, and I couldn't. I couldn't because of this voice in my head, which was telling me that, no crying, Martin. You have to be positive, and you have to keep your composure at all times. However, just like, you know, this water pressure container, I was ready to explode. And gladly, I mean, I was trying with different kind of meditations, and one of my breakups allowed me to release one time this pressure. And since then, I've been crying almost every single day. And that is why I'm making this video, because I know that many of you out there struggle with that. I have read many comments on the internet, people saying that, you know, they lost a parent, or they lost their husband or a kid, or stuff like that. Extreme traumatic experiences, and they were not able to cry. Can you imagine if you hold this for 10, 20, 30 years inside of your system, how detrimental that can be for your health? But the only thing you have to realize is that happiness and sadness, they're just emotions. It's not good or bad, they're just emotions. So we have to learn to let them run their course, right? And I've actually recorded a complete how-to video on how you can start today. If you have difficulties with crying, you can start today and learn it. And I'll post a link in the description below to the how-to video, and also at the end of the video I'll give you a chance to click. But I just want to share a couple of other things which might help you. One of the things that people actually don't want to recognize that they're sad. They want to escape. And they'll do anything possible, you know, they'll turn Netflix on, they'll put music, they'll go dancing, they'll drink alcohol, smoke cigarettes, do drugs, anything to escape this feeling of suppressed bad feeling, you know. And you'll see in the how-to video, the only thing that you need to do is just sit down and, you know, bring that state and just use it to come out. Trust me, you have to watch the how-to video. So just to summarize quickly, if you're like most people, you haven't cried for a long time, you don't even remember. And probably you need to give a good cry, because it's just natural. We need to laugh. If you heard somebody saying that he or she didn't laugh like laughing like for years, it would be weird, right? Same should be for sadness. You need to cry from time to time. We miss different things, we lose things, and yeah. So it's very healthy. It's very healthy, and I definitely recommend to try. And yes, you can learn how to do it. Probably you haven't cried because you learned from society or from your parents, but you can actually relearn this skill, which is not rocket science. And I studied aerospace engineering, I can tell you it's not rocket science. And it's very good and very healthy to connect to your emotions, trust me. You feel better with yourself, you feel more comfortable with yourself, and when you do, then this natural love for other people will come out, and you'll be naturally happy. You don't even have to pump yourself up. I hope that helps. If you like this video, post a comment below. Of course, subscribe to my channel, because I make this kind of interesting, amazing videos every single week, which will help you to become better with yourself, but also with other people. My name is Martin. I'm looking forward to meeting you. And of course, check the video on how to cry step by step. Take care.